Hey there guys, Artistic Nick here, thanks for the click. In today's drawing tutorial, I'm going to be drawing Ariana Grande using colour pencils only. This is a video that I've been really excited about making. I've recently been learning how to use coloured pencils to try and create realism in my art. I wouldn't say that I've mastered it yet, but I am well on the way to understanding the key principles behind making something look realistic with the coloured pencil. For this drawing, I'm actually using Caran D'ache Luminace pencils. I'm also using some Prismacolor in the lips, and finally I'm using some of the polychromos just to get some of the very finer tip areas in the hair and the eyelashes. The polychromos just tend to hold on to their tip and the sharpness a little bit better than the luminance and the Prismacolor. The colours that I'm using for this, in the darker areas, so around the nose area, underneath the nose where we've got the darkest areas, I'm using a raw umber and a raw umber 50%. For the base tone of the skin, I'm using burnt ochres and a burnt ochre 10%, and I'm also using a white and a sepia as well. This combination of colours gives the skin quite a realistic look. If you actually look at a painting or a drawing or a photograph of realistic coloured skin, you'll notice that there are lots of different colours and shades in there. It's not just a cream or a beige or a brown that you have, and this is what adds the realism. So what I'm doing is I'm laying down some of the darker areas to begin with, and I'm layering the pencil on top of each other, adding the different colours. And once I'm happy that I've got a good saturation of colour down, what I'm doing is I'm burnishing the paper. So I'm pressing on really hard with one of my lighter colours, and in this case it's the burnt ochre 10%, which is a very, very light sort of beigey brown. And this then blends the rest of the colours together, leaving quite a waxy looking finish, which is excellent for skin. Once you've burnished the colour down into the paper, it's actually quite hard to get lots more layers on top, so it's very important that before you do burnish, you do have enough of the colour and the pigment down into the paper. You can start to add extra colour on top of it, but it is slightly more difficult. For the eyelashes and the eyebrows, I'm using a combination of the sepia and the blacks. For the lips, I use some dark reds, pinks, some skin tones in there as well as some of the black just in the shaded areas. To take out some of the highlights, what you'll also see me doing, and you'll see it a little bit more when I'm on the hair, is I'm actually using a craft knife. Now, as long as you've got enough of the wax crayon down or the wax pencil down onto the paper, you can lift some of it off with a very sharp sort of crafting knife, and this gives a very realistic look to some of those flyaway hairs and also some of the lighter hairs in the eyebrows and eyelashes. I'm going in with the polychromos pencil crayon in the hair area around the eyes, the eyelashes and the eyebrows, because they tend to just keep the point of the tip much sharper, and it just lasts a little bit longer. The Prismacolors and the Caran D'ache Luminace are slightly softer, and it's much more difficult to get that very sharp tip and sustain it for any amount of time. For the hair, I'm using a combination of different browns, light browns, darker browns. I'm using some of the sepia colour and also the black towards the end, just to find those darkest shadowed areas, which actually then gives you a realistic look. If you're trying to create realism, it's very important you get contrast between your lightest and your darkest areas. I'm really happy with how this turned out. I hope this video has helped some of you out in your quest to draw realistic with coloured pencils. I'll no doubt be posting more of these in the future, so if there's anything you'd like me to go through, send me a comment down below, let me know what you'd like me to cover. But otherwise, I hope you'd consider subscribing to my channel. Thanks so much for watching. Find me on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. All of the links are in the descriptions down below. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next video.
Hit subscribe, smack the notifications button, follow me on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter.